Yeah, this is what it's come to. Cause yo butts don't want to stay inside. Now don't get me wrong, I don't want to stay inside either. But we got to. Come on now. Come on now. You know this. You know this. Stop looking at me, look at you while you're looking back at me that this is wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about. You know I know what I'm talking about when you're talking about the same things that I'm talking about when we're talking. Come on. Jesus. Now I don't know about your state, but North Carolina has a mandatory face mask requirement going on, and boy, have I seen some entitled
I'll just put you on my 3,000 follower Instagram feed, mostly locals.
Hi everyone, I work for Costco and I'm asking this member to put on a mask because that is our company policy. So either wear the mask
And I'm not doing it because I woke up in a free country.
Have a great day.
So you're gonna take this cart from me?
Sir, have a great
full
day.
of stuff.
You are no longer welcome here in our warehouse. You need to leave. Thank you very
Here,
much.
you put it on, I'll give you my card. He's gonna take the card away because he's a
I have a medical condition that I'm not allowed to wear a mask, and I'm not required by HIPAA rules and regulations to disclose that.
Okay, can we shop for you?
So, what does that look like? I have private things I want to get, but maybe I don't want you to
Shop
see.
for you, but I can't let you in the store without a mask.
Okay, so where's the regulations that state that?
The regulation?
Yeah.
That is company
Because you're
policy.
discriminating against me now. Do you know that?
I'm
You're
offering
discriminating
you
against
that
me.
we can help you.
No, because I have private stuff that I don't want you to see.
Then you can call corporate office, but I can't help you.
Okay, well, you guys can get a lawsuit because you can't
Yes,
discriminate.
I'm trying to help you, but I'm
No,
not
you
gonna argue
can't.
with
How's that helping when you're gonna do shopping for me? I'm gonna give you my bank information.
doing the best I
How
can
do
with you.
how do I do the transaction?
Transactions will do for you.
No, I'm gonna give you my credit card, my private credit card, for you to go and take and pay with my.
I'm trying to help you.
What's up, beautiful people? Brian Kennedy again, back with another helpful video. In this video, we're gonna be talking about how you should be shopping for your plane tickets and why you should really stop your old methods of shopping for plane tickets. So, let's get into it. I kinda wanna make sure that the mic is working, but I hope it is working. I don't wanna get through this whole thing and it's not really working. That would suck, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Editing, Brian? Now, one of the first things that I think you should take into consideration when buying plane tickets is which websites are most important. You know, a lot of websites are really the same website and they follow under the same parent company. So it's important to know which sites are posting the same thing and which sites are actually posting something different and will give you value. One of the first websites I always go to is Google Flights because they're always going to give you a good overview of how much a plane ticket is going to be across the board. They usually do this by generating prices from the actual airlines and from actual websites like Expedia, TripAdvisor, and Priceline. But I didn't really want to talk too much about Google Flights features until later on in the video. From here, I place the same dates and same flight information inside a website called Skiplag that usually gives you a decent amount of options. Their algorithm actually places you on flights where the layover on the flight is a place that you actually need to go. And on their website, this is something that they call hidden city ticketing. So once you get to your destination, instead of riding to the last destination, you actually get off on the layover and you're done with your flight. Now, it's important to note that airlines do not generally like this, and the majority of flights on this website, Skiplag, do include layovers. And another important thing to note, when you're on these flights, you cannot have checked luggage. Almost all the time I stop here at Skiplag and Google Flights because I usually find what I'm looking for at a decent, really low, cheap price, but sometimes there are other things that you have to do in order to keep looking for a cheap flight. I believe the second important thing that you should note when taking your plane tickets into consideration is the actual airline that you're buying these tickets with. I usually prefer any airline due to the unusually low prices in plane tickets, but if you can, avoid Spirit and avoid Frontier because their prices are solely based on the price of the seat. That means if you want to upgrade your seat, if you want to have a carry-on, if you want to have some checked luggage, all of these things will come to you at an additional price, and that price is usually something that you just will never want to pay. And I'm talking about a carry-on for $35 at booking, but if you wait until you actually get to the gate, you can look at a carry-on luggage bag for like $45 to $55. And if you choose wisely on these websites, you can get the same flight with an airline like American Airlines, where you can get a free carry-on and a better and spacious seat. I remember I used to go to college in Miami, and every weekend I used to get a $45 flight there and a $45 flight back every weekend, which would make my trips back and forth so much easier. And the only reason why I was able to find these flights was due to Skiplag and was due to Google Flights features. The third thing I think you should take into consideration is think about the airport that you're leaving from. You know, is it regional? Is it international? Is it a busy airport? Is it a very small one that usually has 3 or 4 airlines? It's always been a general rule to myself that I leave from an international airport. Regional airports don't provide half the flights that they do, and usually those flights are direct flights because they're so small. When I lived near a smaller airport, I used to drive the additional hour and 2 hours just so I can make the flight $150 to $200 cheaper. The fourth thing you should take in consideration when doing your plane, when shopping for your plane, when doing the plane things, the plane, okay. All right, the fourth thing that you guys should take into consideration is how far ahead you should be shopping for your plane tickets. I find that the best time to look for flights is usually 5 to 6 weeks out before you actually go on your trip. Price will always fluctuate before you buy it, so there's really no method to the madness. But if you lock in your ticket at least a month ahead, you should be able to buy your ticket for the cheapest option. But if you don't have time, make sure that you head over to SkipLag because there's endless options on that website that make it easy for you to buy your ticket. The fifth recommendation that I will always back is always use Google Flights flexible dates feature. You know, one of my last tips involved me saying that you should always search for your tickets 5 to 6 weeks ahead of time. But if you use Google Flights flexible dates feature, you will always be able to find the cheapest option within the next 6 months. This is a perfect filter that will allow you to buy the cheapest and best option tickets for trips ahead of time. I mean, I was able to buy a ticket from Greenville, South Carolina to Las Vegas for $29. $29. And on the way back, the ticket was only $50. And the only way I was able to achieve this was using Google Flights flexible date option. All right, one of the last things I should talk about is why you should never do checked bags. I mean, me personally, I've never been a fan of sitting at the conveyor belt waiting on a bag. I mean, it just takes up so much time. Also, the majority of flights on both of these websites aren't going to be able to give you checked baggage for free or anything close to it. The only way I'm ever going to use checked baggage again is if I need to lug around a bunch of camera gear. And even that's because if not, I will always place everything in my backpack or in a duffel bag that I can claim as a carry-on. Jesus, Lord, Lordy Lord, what is love? All right, you guys, I think I talked about everything that I have here in my notes. You know, leave a comment if you have any more tips on buying plane tickets, and let me know if one of these tips actually saved you a couple of bucks. If you can, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you're into subscribing to things. Until the next time And until the next time I upload, peace! Wait, before I go, I have one more bonus tip. One-Ways. One-Ways is like the new layover, not layover, but what is it called? Layaway? Yeah, like Walmart layaway. You know how you have to put some money up and then you can, like, you know, pay the rest of it later. That's kind of like One-Ways. Always buy One-Ways if you can, you know? You can buy your One-Way there, you know? Let's say the ticket is $100. You could buy 50 right now that one way, and then maybe you get paid in 2 weeks and you could just pay off the other 50. You see how that works? You have to put all the $100 into that one ticket. You know that? It makes sense, right? No? No? I thought it was a good tip. All right, man. All right, don't come at me, man. I don't appreciate that, man. All right? I don't appreciate it. All right? Pump it. See you in the next one. Peace!